Hey, everybody, it's Eddie from Tokyo. This is your cryptocurrency update from Japan and TP Bank. They're the first bank in Vietnam to join the Ripple Payments Network. Now, we knew about this because SBI made a capital investment in this bank and introduced Ripple technology to them with the help of SBI Ripple Asia last November. And now TP Bank will expand, especially to small and medium-sized enterprises. So Mr. Kitao is really building out his flywheel, and that flywheel effect is being played out big time with the launch of the XRP Remittance pilot with the exchange that he backs called FX Coin. And in addition to SBI making an investment and backing this exchange, the second largest bank in Japan has also done the same. So if anybody tells you that banks won't touch XRP, you just point them to this fact and the developing demonstration. All right, the Ripple Labs chair and Waterloo University computer engineering professor Anwar Hassan, he talks about Bitcoin's energy footprint and it being equivalent to a country the size of Austria on the Ripple Insights page. And because of this proof of work that is achieved with miners, his team did a research paper where they studied the cost, depending on, of course, the electricity in a given country, to make a single Bitcoin. And that ranges anywhere from $531 to $26,170. I just never have seen any research that brings these kind of numbers to light. You compare that roughly to the $62.84 per year that it takes to run an XRP node. That is a huge difference. And talk about proof of work. Well, after this dust settles with the Bitcoin halving, I think you're going to hear a lot about Ethereum. Ethereum is moving to proof of work this summer. Proof of stake. And this is really great. It's going to give them increased decentralization. It's going to reduce their energy footprint, and it's also going to get them closer to compete to Tezos. So Ethereum is very much like Tezos, and if you are interested in more than just the price action, because this project XTZ has had some amazing price action this last 30 days. This is a really good podcast with the co-founder, Arthur Brittman, and it is a 90-minute, very high-level discussion that was published on the 27th. And you can see he's truly one of the great minds in this space. You can find it by searching on Chain Reaction. And I attended the Bank of America webcast, and they are, of course, leveraging blockchain now, and they're leaning on Ripple's technology. So I wanted to see what they are up to, and I got up at some crazy hour, like 5:30 in the morning, to attend. I am not an early bird at all. And I listened to the project manager and presenter of the payments and innovation section that he belongs to, and he only talked about building on Ethereum. There was a little mention of Tezos and EOS, but yeah, just pretty much 98% Ethereum. And I sent in lots of questions, but all of my questions were ignored. And so I can tell you in that 86 minutes, you didn't miss anything. All right, let's look at a slide that is really making the rounds on Twitter. And this is a slide actually that comes from the SBI results that were given last January to the shareholders. And there is a lot I can break down for you and make clear on this, especially because on the 28th, we have a new presentation from SBI, and it talks a little bit more in detail of what exactly is going to happen with this S platform. So this is the January 2020 slide that came out, and you can see that it talks about using R3's Corda on the S coin platform. So what does that actually mean? Well, let me explain that this project goes back all the way to 2017 when a company in Japan, a blockchain company called Orb, created a joint project with SBI. And SBI actually made an investment into this venture company, and they were going to create a payments platform and use the S coin to do the testing. And it would then create a regional token offering that could be issued by local governments, business companies, regional financial institutions, etc. It did launch. It launched in the spring 2018. The SBI employees tested it. I think they tested it through some different stores that are in the Izumi Gardens Tower where SBI is located. And so they tested it with this S coin and they created this new S platform. So in today's slide presentation, it states the previous venture company that they invested in for this project has been changed, and it has been changed to R3. So Orb is out, R3 is in, and it will utilize the mechanism to issue and distribute digital tokens. And these digital tokens are part of a regional revitalization to stimulate the local economies that are around these regional banks that Mr. Kitao is working on strengthening, really. And you have to understand that in red right here, it says that working with regional financial institutions to promote issuance of local currency. Local currency are the local currencies that will work for a community in, like, for example, he is doing a strategic consulting work for a regional bank in Shimane. So they will probably create a local Shimane currency that funds a regional project in that area. So this is really his vision. He's been working on it for 3 years. Started off with doing cold calls. He gained the trust from all those banks. He's got like 40 banks now that he's going to be doing consulting work with. Now remember that when he formed the SBI R3 Japan entity, it was creating a way or a structure to license this platform because it's got a special patent to it. And the fact that Mr. Kitao can roll this out into other regional banks gives him a revenue stream, and it gives a lot of new work and a lot of new work to R3 and a lot of stimulation and revitalization to the areas of Japan that need it. Now, I'm going to show you something that Tony from Thinking Crypto had on his interview, just I think in the last 48 hours. He had the CEO of Hong Kong-based Hex Trust on his show. And this is, Hex Trust began working with R3 when one of their clients wanted to issue a collateral token for derivatives on Corda. So they do this by connecting to Corda's software development kit, the SDK for tokens. And that SDA kit was released back in July 2019. Here I am actually on the fact sheet for that SDK kit, and you can see that Corda initiated transactions that can be settled instantly through Corda Settler, an application which enables atomic delivery. Remember that, because atomic swaps are important when I tell you how that relates to Ripple. And it does it with the atomic delivery versus payment, okay? So digital assets and cash tokens, the trades can be made through blockchain or traditional payment rails, greatly improving reconciliation processes. All right, so what do I want to do here? I have to stay on track here. So the introduction of Corda Settler to these regional banks. Okay, I'm going to play you the audio that goes with that new presentation that came out just 2 days ago. And it talks just about this win-win collaboration that he's doing with the banks. He's going to create a new company. He's going to create a white label with the Corda technology, creating this platform so that he can issue regional currencies for these local banks. And he'll retain 51% of the new company. But yeah, just have a listen to it right here. I think the sound is very good on this. Here we go.
Functions provided by SBI Regional Revitalization Services. One is providing financial cloud that helps us change fixed system cost to variable cost, high performance AI screening service, a white label, regional currency issuance, ATM channel collaboration solutions that advances management efficiency. So robotics, process automations, RPAs. So there are different functions that will be delivered. As for cloud, we will be, in principle, be using Amazon's AWS. And we have our API platform. In order to connect to our SBI banking API, we will be using an Israeli company's open legacy system. Okay. So whether it be Hitachi or IBM or Fujitsu, regardless of the brand in the accounting system, they will be able to use and connect with us.
Okay.
And we will be carrying out high-performance AI screening service with Hitachi. We will issue digital currency. We did this with Chikuho, called Toko Waka Coin, but we will be doing this sort of initiative with other regional banks. The name will be the same, but it will be a white label, and they will be using the digital tokens on Corda. So the Corda and the R3 people will be supporting this initiative.
Okay, so that describes to you, I think, pretty good about the white labeled platform that Corda now is going to pick up where Orb left off. Now let's go back to that slide, and you can see XRP as the first cryptocurrency supported by Corda Settler. This is very much explained in the video that I captured when R3 came to Tokyo last year, and I was able to record that the reason why they used XRP was because Mr. Kitao was within that new entity that he formed with R3. They gave an example of how Corda Settler can work, and they used XRP as the first example because they're going to be, there's lots of other projects that are on Corda Settler now, and he's going to be introducing this. You can see the introduction. He's going to be introducing it to lots of people that he is going to call this S-Coin platform. All right, now in this section right here where it talks about future expansion, expanding the range of use and the planning of adoption for the Expo 2025 in Osaka. Let me take you to Coin Post. So remember, that was a January 2020 January slide, and this is the article that came up in relation to that presentation given to the shareholders at that time. Mr. Kitao said in a Q&A that he was aiming for the World Expo in Osaka to put XRP into the S-Coin platform, aiming for that international expansion. So that is that slide broken down, I think, quite clearly for you. Now, there is something in that presentation that is really worth looking at. This is the new presentation, and I want to just show you. It's about MoneyTap and Ripple technology, and it's pretty big news. It's right here. So the Sumitomo Mitsui Banking Corporation, which is also contributing to that fund, which is 963 million, and it's 100 billion yen. I said it wrong yesterday. I said 1 billion yen yesterday. It's 100 billion yen, and I did have the dollars right, so sorry about that. But they are also contributing to MoneyTap. So you can see here, this is MoneyTapu right there, and that money investment is going to go a long ways, and it's going to really help with the international expansion, I'm sure. And so the point is that Mr. Kitao loves XRP. Mr. Kitao loves R3. He really wants to find some way, somehow, to have both of them work together. Now, whether something will percolate before that Osaka 2025 World Expo, I don't know, probably, because he's a builder, and he, is one that can do it. If anybody can do it, he can do it. So I think I got it all cleared up for you. I hope. If there's any questions, just leave me a question in the comment section and I'll get to it as soon as I can. Now I want to talk about this everis presentation. It's a little bit old, actually. I mean, it still floats around there, but it's back from 2017, and it was a wow PDF that everyone found because it showed the RippleNet technology just supporting everything, right? Like what isn't being supported by Ripple? But Everis, who sponsored Swift's Sibos last September 2019 in London with NTT Data, they have kind of changed, or they have really defined their focus, and I want to bring you up to date. First, I do want to tell you that on XRP Arcade, there is a great recap and summary up to about the end of December that Leonidas did, and it's got that material broken down in the PDF that we just looked at. And he's also got some really good video from 2019 with Everest. But I want to bring you up to date because I found something that brings us to March 2020, and that is this presentation here. You need to understand that Everest is just one of many companies that NTT Data has acquired. NTT Data is one of the top 5 solutions provider in the IT sector, and they acquired 100% of the shares of Everest, which is located in Spain, I believe, back in 2014. And this is Roberto Hergueta, and he was with them when they did that PDF because he's been in the blockchain division for 5 years. And what they are doing now is what he laid out in this video and also showed their vision. And this is now their focus is the second phase of their digital transformation. And they're doing not just payments, but they're also doing digital ID. They seem to be very, very focused on digital ID. And they created this LAC chain, which is in more than 25 countries now, based on Hyperledger infrastructure. And they have also done an alliance with Consensus. So yes, they are still doing some payments, but also land rights. And this digital ID is really their strong focus. Now, Hyperledger Fabric is different than Hyperledger Quilt. Hyperledger is open source, and it was developed by IBM, Intel, and SAP. Hyperledger Quilt was developed by NTT Data and Ripple, and it makes Fabric interoperable with Quilt. So that is exactly how, still, even though they're rolling out this Hyperledger Fabric, because we've got Quilt, and we've got it thanks to the developers who are with Ripple. And this is actually David Fewling's blog. He's a senior software engineer at Ripple's Spring, and he maintains Quilt. So Quilt is primarily a payments protocol designed to transfer values across distributed ledgers by atomic swaps. So if you remember, when we were back on that SDK kit, it talked about how it does it with the atomic transfer. And this is what Quilt enables. So the Atomic swaps are a type of smart contract. They can exchange or trade cryptocurrencies without any intermediary. And if you want to know what is happening with Hyperledger Quilt, just go to GitHub. And you can see here that it's actually being maintained big time. April 2020, there have been 26 commits made by David, and 5 of them are made to Quilt, some in the just last 3 days. So I think it's in good hands, everybody. Yeah, I do think it's in really good hands. And so there you have your update. This is actually David. Let me just show you right here. Yeah, this is David right here. And this is his page on Hyperledger Quilt. All right, everybody, let's jump to a little fluff. So this is the Yamagata Aquarium, which has 60 species of jellyfish and the world's largest collection, actually, of jellyfish. This is a display window of 4,000 moon jellyfish. Just love it. I don't know why. When I watch these jellyfish, it's just so hypnotic. They did a collaboration to bring a jellyfish umbrella to Japan. It sells for about $15, but I just love it. You have to see it in a little bit of a different picture here. Yeah, I don't know. You know, the jellyfish is the oldest known multi-organism creature that is found in every ocean. It dates back more than 700 million years, so it predates the dinosaurs. And I don't know, there's just something incredible about these jellyfish, and I think the umbrellas are just great. I am definitely going to order one. And I'm not sure if you knew or not, but you can order jellyfish ice cream. Yeah, many places in Japan have it. And I don't know, it's well, it has negligible fat, it has no carbs, it's packed full of magnesium, calcium, zinc, iron, copper. Yeah, it's another one of those Japanese power foods that I never imagined in a million years I would eat until I moved here. And I can tell you it's very, very good. Look at these beautiful images of jellyfish. I just love it. It makes me want to just hang some jellyfish images up on my wall. So pretty. All right, everybody, do take care. Sayonara for now. Bye-bye.